Are we ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the July 28th, 2025 City Council meeting. Please join to salute the flag. Madam Clerk, if you call the rolls.
Roll call of the members. Councilor Argenzio.
Here.
Here. Councilor Cogliandro.
Here.
Here. Councilor Giannino.
Here.
Here. Councilor Guarino-Sawaya.
Here.
Here. Councilor Haas.
Here.
Here. Councilor Jaramillo. Here. Here. Councilor Kelly.
Here.
Here. Councilor McKenna.
Here.
Here. Councilor Novoselsky.
Here.
Here. Councilor Zambudo.
Here.
Here. And Council President Silvestri.
Here.
Here. Quorum is present. Approval of the journal of the regular meeting of June 23rd.
All in favor, all opposed? So ordered. Madam Clerk, if we could suspend the rules and take up the appointment of Chief Levita, please.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Under suspension of rules.
Calendar item number 9, communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of interim Chief Maria Levita as Chief of the Revere Police Department.
Good evening, Mr. President, honorable body. Patrick Keefe, Mayor. I'm here to present to you the appointment of our next public safety police chief for the city of Revere. I provided with everyone Captain Levita's resume, as well as I know that a number of councilors have reached out to ask pointed questions and get feedback. Of course, I know the feedback has also been sourced from the department as a whole. I want to explain to you that the City of Revere went through a rigorous interview panel process, bringing in people from the outside, of course, my trusted body inside with some members from our cabinet. We also had the colonel from the Providence Police Department come and spend a day to do the interview process. We had 4 highly qualified candidates. Each of them offered us knowledge and institutional awareness of what's going on in the environment, and each of them made us feel extremely confident, not only in the decision that I'm making today, but in the aptitude and abilities of the entire police department and how well it's being run. We know that Chief Callahan resigned earlier this year, and he finished up on June 30th. He did leave a little bit early to allow himself some time, and Captain Levita stepped in as in the interim role. I'm exceptionally honored to present Captain Levita to you for your formal appointment. She has done an excellent job in just her last 45 days as interim chief. She has done an exceptional job over the last 30 years as a member of our community in the public safety in the police department, and I couldn't be more proud and honored to present her to you. So without further ado, I'd like to offer Captain Levita, interim Chief Levita, up to you for any of your questions. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Councilor McKenna.
thank you. Congratulations, Acting Chief Maria Levita. You have made history tonight. You are the first female in the city of Revere that has become chief of the Revere Police Department. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions for you. The first question is, what have you brought to the Revere Police Department since you were appointed acting chief in the last couple of months?
Sure. So I have shared my vision moving forward with the department, particularly with staffing. It's one of my biggest priorities at this point, and I've relayed that to the officers here with the department that we need to everyone take ownership, do some recruiting, get some people interested in sitting for the exam that are Revere residents, and just move the department forward with that. We've also implemented a brand-new 4-and-4 patrol shift with an eye toward officer wellness and a balance of work-life. So that was, it's a little challenging to do, but we had meetings and sat down and everybody pitched in, and I'm happy to say, you know, we're a couple of weeks in and we're moving forward with it.
Thank you. One more question. Now that you are the chief of the Revere Police Department, what would you bring as a chief moving forward to this department? I know the morale's been low. We would like to see the morale, you know, flare. So what would you bring as the new chief?
Sure. I bring open communication. My phone's always on. We communicate by email. I try and give explanations to directives and get feedback from the people that it matters to. So I think that will go a long way to the officers.
Thank you very much. I'm going to move this forward. I'm going to ask the City Council to affirm the appointment of the Acting Chief Maria Levita. Oh, he's gonna, President Silvestri will open the discussion.
Yes. So, Councilor Janino?
I love this. I have no questions for you. It's been 20 years working with you. And I love the direction the department's taking right now. I love the new leadership we have moving up. And it's all good. This is what we need right now. It's the right time. It's what we need. I wish you all the luck in the world. And thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr.
Councilor
President.
Hess.
Thank you, Mr. President. Maria, congratulations. A huge night for you and also a huge night for our city. You've done a fantastic job the last 27, 28 years, and I know you and I have had some great conversations about the city we grew up in, and you know, our families go way back, but I think you'll do a fantastic job, and if the council can offer any support in any way, please reach out. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Kelly?
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't have any questions for you, but I just wanted to tell you how happy I am for you, congratulate you. I know you're going to be a wonderful, wonderful chief. I have no doubt about it, and I can attest to the fact that you expeditiously, I've interacted with you on a few things already, and very happy the way everything was handled, and I feel great that you're going to be our new chief.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Guarino-Swire?
Thank you, Mr. President. Maria, over the past couple of months, I had the opportunity to get to know you. I didn't know you before that. We worked alongside each other for the blood drive for little Paul Baglio, which was amazing, and you did such a fantastic job with that. In the short time that I've come to know you, I've realized what an incredible woman you are, but also what a great leader you really are. With 29 years of dedicated service to the Revere Police Department, you've earned the respect of your fellow officers, as you can see right here, through your steady leadership and your ability to listen. And I saw that firsthand. You listen to what everyone has to say before you come to judgment right away. Other chiefs that we've had before have just rushed to judgment. That's it. They don't think. You think and you listen to everything. And that is such a plus for a department and for a chief of a department. As captain, you led the Criminal Investigation Division for 8 years, overseeing complex and sensitive cases with professionalism and care. Your strong background, which includes a degree in psychology, a master's in criminal justice administration, and a law degree where you graduated magna cum laude. Come on, that's amazing. This reflects on your deep commitment to justice and public service. And tonight, we celebrate not only your well-earned promotion, but has a historic milestone. You are the first woman. For the first time in the city of Revere's history, we have a woman chief of police. Hello, that's major. I am so proud to call Revere home. I'm so proud of you, Maria. Keep listening and thinking and leading with intention, and you have my deepest respect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Argenzio.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say congratulations. In all my years working for the city and all yours, our paths never really crossed. But since I've met you, I'm struck at how composed you are, intelligent how you speak, and just how professional you are. And I wish you all the best of luck. And I think it's a great choice. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Full disclosure, you were not my first choice. However, you have my 100% support now. You are the police chief, and I'll be behind you in everything you do. What I would ask is that you would consider some of the top candidates for your leadership positions. There are a few positions that I think some would fit greatly in, and that's obviously your choice. But all that being said, congratulations, and I'm here for you completely. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Jaramillo.
Thank you, Mr. President, through you to interim soon-to-be Chief Levita. I'll start with questions, then I'll throw you the flowers at the end, if that's okay.
Sure.
Just want to talk a little bit about the gravity of the chief of police position, and of course the ongoing mental health crisis that was spurred during the COVID pandemic. So I want to hear from you a little bit about what your vision is, because historically, of course, we've criminalized particularly mental health and substance use disorders, and that has created a chain and a cycle of incarceration for a lot of folks in communities, much like ours, which was ravaged by the substance use epidemic or pandemic, I guess, as well. What's your vision for how we address this from a policing standpoint?
Sure. So I know that you are aware already of the Behavioral Health Unit and what they have done within the past couple of years. With my background in psychology, I think I come at that issue a little bit more differently than most law enforcement people. I have a great understanding of it. I have a degree, and I actually did some work a long time ago before I was a sworn police officer in that field. So with these issues, partnerships are first and foremost the most important. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Chelsea District Court is beginning a mental health court to try and divert some people that probably shouldn't be criminally charged, depending on the crimes. So we're all in with those types of things, whatever we can do to help. Our officers are all trained in CIT, which is crisis intervention training. We've gotten really good at de-escalation and, searching out alternatives prior to putting people in the criminal justice system that don't need to be.
And you mentioned the behavioral health unit. Is there is there any particular emphasis you're going to place on that, or what is the mission for that? I know they do great work now. I know we have great partnerships with the City of Chelsea, and I believe it's North Suffolk Community Health. Is that something that you plan on continuing and potentially expanding? How do you do that in a climate where funding for these particular issues is not at the ready, right?
Right. No, it's a great question. So we have to be creative in the grants that we are applying for, and do the best we can to use, supplement with city funds when we can, and keep the program going. Once our staffing levels increase, my vision for the unit is to expand it and expand options and partnerships with different options of the community in North Suffolk and those types of organizations.
Thank you. And as it relates to public safety, of course, I think you would agree that it's something that it goes beyond, of course, the police on the streets, which I know are strained because we need more staffing, and it's hard to recruit for the police department now. Is there anything that, from your expertise, either from your schooling or anything, or just life experience or work experience, you would recommend for the city of Revere to invest in more that would make your public safety enforcement easier on the streets for you and for the men and women on the force?
Sure, yeah. Like I said, open communications, meeting with, the departments already in existence here within the city, maybe expanding those outside as well. And I'm all about collaboration, so, the more we can sit down then and discuss, then the better off we'll be to put it in an even better direction than we already have it.
Great. And then, of course, there's been quite, I think we all watch the news, and there's been quite an uproar around due process. Can you tell me about your philosophy around due process, how we ensure that in the U.S. that's being respected, in our city that's being respected, and that folks are granted their due process?
Sure, yes. I mean, democracy doesn't work without it. That's my view. So, and right now we're having an issue with public defenders. I'm sure you've seen it. And that's the way the courts look at it, and I support that. Everybody deserves a due process. With that said, in the case that some of our cases may get dismissed, we will always circle back, and for the cases that need to be recharged, we'll be able to do that, working with the DA's office.
And would you say that that's something that you're going to impart on your officers, and making sure that that's top priority of the police department is preserving the due process of Revere residents?
Yes.
Great. And then for the fun part, I mean, we've all read your resume. I think really appreciate that to the mayor for making this very wise choice. And I really look forward to partnering with you to make sure that we're supporting you from the city council, giving you the resources, giving your women and men in uniform all the resources necessary to be able to do the job holistically, and of course with the expertise that they bring, that you bring to the force. And I really do. I think this appointment, Mr. Mayor, is something that we all should be proud of, and I look forward to voting yes on this appointment once it comes through. Thank you, Mr. President, for the leisure.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Mayor, first of all, congratulations for your choice. I agree with it 100%. And I'm not going to give kudos yet, but I just want to say, just working with you over the last few weeks when we first found out that you were going to be appointed, some of the things that have happened, and I mentioned July 4th down in Shirley Ave, the gang did a great job clearing things up, and no one got seriously hurt, thank God. And I know you and I have spoken about it, and there are already plans for next year to make sure things like that don't happen again. And I also want to congratulate you and your staff, and Captain Malone, for the way they handled this past Saturday night for the fireworks and the traffic after the fact. Things worked great. I know there's still some more tweaking we can do, but I can just congratulate you for those two particular items. I know things have been pretty good down Shirley Ave, I can say that, and nothing super major other than those, well, one thing. But I want to just congratulate you. I've known you for many, many years. I think I remember when you first came on, and we always got together and we worked together and we talked things out to make sure everything got done correctly and legally. So I want to congratulate you. I wish you a lot of luck, and congratulate the rest of your staff for those that are getting promoted because of the opening, and the moving up of positions. But just congratulations and good luck for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Councilor Cogliano.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first thing, I would be very careful about telling the city council your phone's always on. Just be careful there. Like Councilor Agenzio, I've lived in the city my whole life. I just had the pleasure of meeting you. One of the pieces of feedback that I've gotten since you became acting interim chief is that you delegate responsibility. And I really love to hear that. So looking forward to voting yes tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Permission to speak from the chair? Thank you. Chief, congratulations.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor, congratulations. I say congratulations because the conversations I'm having with the men and women on the force, they are very excited about you taking the responsibility of the department. You have a great opportunity to build out your leadership team, with many of our leadership team stepping down and retiring. So best of luck, Chief. You made history tonight. Keep going from here on out, and whatever we can do to support you, please let us know.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, can we roll call the vote?
Shall the City Council confirm the appointment of Maria Levita as Chief of the Revere Police Department? Councilor Agenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Jaramillo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Absolutely.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, the appointment has been confirmed.
Mr. President,
Thank you. If I may, just a quick thank to the mayor and his team, to each city councilor tonight, and to the men and women of the department who every day work day in and day out. Thank you to them. I'm so proud to lead them. Also to the non-sworn support staff who make the police department run behind the scenes. So thank you, and I look forward to continuing to work with each one of you. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Councilor McKenna.
thank you. Could I reconsideration with the hope that it does not prevail?
Madam Clerk, under reconsideration with the hopes it does not prevail. All in favor, all opposed?
Aye.
So ordered. And back to the regular order of business.
Public hearings, calendar item number 3, hearing called as ordered on the application of 529 Broadway LLC, 529 Broadway, Revere, Mass., requesting a special permit from the Revere City Council to raise the existing nonconforming structure and construct a 5-story mixed-use development at 529 Broadway.
Counselor.
Okay, sorry. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the City Council. My name is Attorney Larry Simeone with law offices at 300 Broadway, Suite 4. I represent this evening 529 Broadway LLC, 529 Broadway, Revere, Massachusetts. The property owner is also 529 Broadway LLC. The resident agent is Anna Segura. It's our intention, as we look at the land is also owned by the same entities. The land is described in applications and is recorded in the Suffolk County Registry of Deeds at certificate 138840 and lots 1 through 5. Lot size is .556, according to the assessor's records, as established in Exhibit 1 in my application. The map describing the uses of the area are also in Exhibit 2, and in Exhibit 3, we have the USGA maps exhibit for the council to look at. As far as the wetlands, there's no wetlands in the site. Specifically, what we're looking at here is the property is in accordance with the records of the Revere Assessor's Office and the general business district and the RB district. The property is serviced by existing infrastructure at this time and has sewer water access. The parcel land basically has an auto body garage that was built prior to zoning in 1910, and having also a concrete block with 1,500 square feet of space. Basically, we look tonight to ask this council to allow my client to seek a special permit to raise a non-conforming structure, taking all those existing buildings and removing them and to put a new 5-story multifamily structure. The city council may award a special permit only if it determines that the reconstruction that exists in the non-conforming structure in the neighborhood. The reconstruction negotiations as set forth herein shall include the increase in existing nonconformities or a creation of new nonconformities to allow for this project to begin. So we're looking for 5 mixed-use 5 units. I have Mr. Bosky, the architect here, and he'd like to make a presentation on that part of the program. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Councilor.
Good evening,
Name and-
everyone. David Barsky, architect of record for 529 Broadway in Revere. Just wanted to go over a couple of quick things about this building to familiarize you, if I may. Would we be able to get that on the screen by any chance? That'd be great. So this is a first pass on this building. Right now, as was mentioned by Mr. Simeone, it is a combination of an auto body shop, auto body and repair, a restaurant, and a liquor store. Now, the plan is to create this mixed-use project, which is designed really, among other things, to try to ameliorate the streetscape of Broadway. There's 116 units proposed at the moment, all on 4 stories above a podium, under which will be the new liquor store, the new restaurant, or the newly renovated existing restaurant, and then another fairly substantial restaurant that the owner would like to open, some kind of Brazilian ethnic restaurant. If you could go to let's scroll through next page, if you would. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. Oh, one back. There we go. So that's the grade level plan. You can see the retail is at the bottom of the page, and then we have 61 parking spaces, mostly which would be directed towards servicing the retail as opposed to the tenants. Like so many buildings that we've done in and around this area, we have found that very limited car ownership, especially when you're dealing with 1-bedroom units, as this project is primarily consisting of. If you go to the next page, this explains a little bit the footprint of the building on the lot. Those green spaces that you see there are rooftop gardens that would help bring light and into the units that surround them. It's a very deep and wide site, so I had to do something to be able to utilize the site and at the same time provide light and windows for bedrooms and living spaces. You could continue to scroll. This, a couple of views. The one on the top is the proposed streetscape along Broadway, and the building is purposely designed to create a facade along the street, a kind of urban corridor of which is already in progress along that street and elsewhere. It's been pretty successful on streets like Shirley Avenue. And then if you go to the next slide, now this is the rear of the building, which faces School Street, and there is an existing access to this site from that street, which, having gone through site plan review and gotten some recommendations from that group, that we eliminated access and focused on creating a meaningful landscaping strategy along that street. And also for the neighboring properties as well. The idea of taking the fence that is screening the parking, which does not go all the way to the lot line, and having the landscaping on the outside of that fence so that the abutters, there are 2 residential abutters on this particular street. You'll be hearing from them shortly. we want to try to create a strategy where the border line between this building project and their property is something that gives back to them, and that the idea of the landscaping on the outside of the fence is something we're sort of toying with at the moment. There's one more slide, I believe. If you go, excuse me. Do you have there's a shadow study. There we go. Okay, so this is a little bit hard to read. I'm going to try to walk you through it. The reason that we did this was we had a neighborhood meeting, and there was considerable concern about what this building would do in terms of shedding light on neighboring properties. So the shadow study that you're looking at here, the rows are vertical, and they are different times of the year. So, and different times of the day. You have 9 o'clock, you have midday, later in the afternoon, and then early evening. And you can see how the building does cast shadows, but what this illustrates is that the only time that this building is actually going to cast shadows, meaningful shadows, on the neighboring property, only the one to the right. To the one to the left is virtually unaffected by any shadows being cast by this building by virtue of its orientation. But on the right-hand side, on the extreme right, you'll see when the sun is very low in December, that the shadows are very long. But otherwise, for basically 3/4 of the year, this building will not cast shadows on the actual neighbor to the right. So that was something that was a big concern in the neighborhood meeting, and we wanted to sort of see exactly what the effect of the sun movement would be. And that's, and I'm happy to respond to any queries or questions that you may have about this.
Thank you, Dave. Do we have any other proponents? Anyone else here in favor? You're here in favor, ma'am? Proponent? In favor of the project? Thank you. So, yep, we're going to get there. Any proponents? Okay, hearing none, closing that side. Any opponents? Ma'am, not you.
Unfortunately,
Oh, you just got to step up. State your name and address, please.
my name is Marie Shand, and I've lived in this city my whole life, over 80 years. My family has lived here over 100 years, and I've built my house 35 years ago. It's my dream house. I designed it and had it custom built. I love my city. I love the beach, and I really don't want to leave my home. Unfortunately, I know the architect was just up, and he was saying about the shadows. It's not the shadows I'm worried about. It's this giant monster. When I look out my windows, that's all I'm going to see is the giant building. It's not little. It's not like now, whatever's there is low. I can see the blue sky. I don't want to not see the blue sky anymore. I don't want my sunshine gone. I don't want my peace of mind taken away from me. I custom built this house. It was my dream house, and I want to stay in my dream house. I don't feel that this giant monster should be in the middle of our city. Our city is a suburb city. It's not the inner city. If I chose to live in the inner city, I'd be in the inner city. I'd be in Boston. But I live in Revere, and I love my city. I have all my conveniences. I also, the architect talked a lot about it. We had a meeting on the site last week, and he talked a lot about having this building be very high-end. High-end is wonderful, but our city is blue-collar. It's not a high-end city. Our beach now is high-end. Anyone who wants to live high-end, they're going to go to the beach and they'll get an apartment there. They're not going to want to live on Broadway Revere. He's not going to command the prices that he wants. And what I fear most is the fact is they're going to build this building and then can't rent it, because who's going to afford it? Our economy isn't that great. We see all kinds of problems occurring. A lot of our big companies, Coca-Cola, Visa, they're leaving their buildings. They're building new buildings in Canada. There's about 10 or 12 companies that have left silently. They're all putting their stuff in Canada because whatever's going on in the governments, they're not too thrilled with it. So our economy is a bad economy. It's not great. I don't feel that he might be, Mr. Sarnalia might get caught in the thing with, oh, build, then not be able to rent. And what I foresee, if you can't rent it, you're going to put Section 8 people in there. I don't want to live next door to 116 units, I think he said, 116 units of Section 8 people. I wouldn't like that. A mixture is fine. But
Ma'am,
not
we can't even get them to give us 6 apartments of Section 8, let alone 116.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't see a great outcome to this. To me, it's a problem. It's a big problem. And also, what about the traffic? Just when they're going to drop off, you see the big smile on the Amazon truck dropping off all these things. They're going to be dropping off. How many visits they're going to make to that building all day long? I mean, if the traffic is bad enough, I can't see that the traffic is going to be wonderful if you have all those units right in the middle of Broadway. And besides that, I don't like the idea of, we already have a school with traffic problems at times, and we live with that, and we can live with it. And right now we're coping with the fact that Broadway is busy at certain hours, very busy. But we don't need to make it worse. I really don't think it's going to be a plus. Now, the lawyer for Mr. Sarnalia mentioned that in the letter that he sent to all the abutters, that they were going to do things that would make the neighbors happy. But when I went to that meeting, there wasn't one thing that he told me that would make any of us happy. Not one thing. Now, the only good thing about it is Revere will be making more tax money. And I understand that more tax money is important to run our city. I do understand that. But how about the neighbors? We don't want this. We're coping bad enough with our traffic. We have the school. That's enough. We don't need more misery. And Mr. Sarnalia has a wonderful business there. He has an auto body. He has a mechanical, fixes cars, and he sells and buys trucks and cars. So that's 3 businesses in one. He's doing very well. I was here before 3 years ago, going to be 4 years ago, when he wanted the special permit for him to be able to do what he wanted in his building. And I went along with him, and he had certain things that he had, restrictions that he had to do for me. And there's about 15 to 30 things that he still hasn't gotten to. He did put up a beautiful fence, and the fence is gorgeous. It makes the property look 100 times better than it ever did before. And the next thing I want the weeds taken off completely under that fence, and I would love for him to continue with all the precise things that he's supposed to do, because this is what he promised the city council and the planning board. These are the things he promised to do, and I want to see them all take place, please, because I have the list right here. I gave it to his lawyer, so his lawyer would see that the things are promised that are supposed to be done. It took him 3 years to put the fence up, and I've been patient, but now I want to see the arborvitae's growing up tall, so I don't have to see anything. All I see is a beautiful fence, some greenery, and I don't have to see what's going on in his business. But I don't want to see a giant, monstrous building there, so that I have to look at that all the time and see. It's ruining my property values, and also anyone else's in the general area. So I really am against it, as you see, and I guess that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Shen. Any other opponents?
Is this your phone, ma'am? Ma'am, your phone? No? Someone?
Name and address. for the
Hi,
record.
Corey O'Hara, 270 Beach Street. I just have general concerns about this project. So 529 Broadway, trying to fit a large-scale project in a small parcel. It would require several variances, but it's coming in front of you as a non-conforming structure, so it would require a special permit. Otherwise, it would require variances because it's too large. It doesn't have enough setback. It's trying to fit too much onto a small parcel. But we have these, the smart growth overlay down Shirley Ave and Green Street. Like, these are the places that the planning department and the city agreed to, that this is what we're gonna build. Satisfies, the growth that the state's requiring. It satisfies the MBTA requirements. So I don't know why we're trying to make like the corridor of Broadway to have these monstrosities that, are gonna put more strain on the infrastructure, the neighborhood, traffic, especially when we have these areas of Revere that we've already agreed to where we can build these large, dense projects. So to start spreading them out all over the city, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not sure, it just seems like a poor precedent that we're starting to set. We have already the monstrosity down at, I think, 781 or 791 Broadway that went up. That's already an eyesore. I think that people are gonna start seeing the traffic issues from that. This project's not promising any parking for the residents. I mean, like I said, yes, people aren't driving, but my house alone, I have a 3-family. We have Amazon out there constantly. We have, we take Ubers a lot. I mean, those are issues. Those are issues. It's just expecting to have these monstrosities. It ruins the character. It creates safety issues. And, these projects where these developers are starting to find these loopholes where they're saying like, okay, well, we're just gonna skip all these variants and go bypass the zoning board, that really these issues belong with the zoning board and not in front of you as a special permit. They're kind of finding these loopholes to get around these things, and it's concerning. I think there needs to be more oversight, and I think we just need to slow down these processes because for some reason it's starting to feel like we're a little bit of a free-for-all here. These developers are coming in, they're putting these monstrosities in front of us. It's not like they're giving us these reasonable projects at first. They're giving us these unreasonable, unsafe, let's pack these in, and it's almost like starting to feel like they don't have much respect for the residents because it's too much. It's just too much. And so I just kind of am asking, put a little break on some of this stuff and start looking at the safety and the character of the city again, because it's getting a little bit much. That's all. That's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. O'Hara. Any other opponents? Anyone else here against? Opponents? Hearing no more, closing that side. City councilors, Council Cogliandro.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is my ward. We had a community meeting on July 19th. I'm going to save my comments for zoning. This is going to zoning. But I just want to plainly state, if my constituents aren't pleased, then neither am I. So we got some work to do on that, it seems like. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Haas.
Thank you, Mr. President. We've heard from a few residents regarding this property here. The last 2 years, the city held a Broadway master plan meeting where people from the city would go and say what they'd like to see on Broadway. They'd like to see more green spaces. They'd like to see more parks. A parking garage was mentioned. I can't think of one person that said they'd like to see a 116-unit project along Broadway. When you factor in traffic, you factor in the strain on emergency services. And you know, we haven't even talked about the schools nearby. The Lincoln School would be impacted. I know a number of these are one-bedrooms, but there will still be kids in the apartments, I think. And I think it was Ms. Shands who made a very good point. She touched on something that I wanted to speak about, and this project looks exactly like something that you'd see down the beach. The architect had mentioned Shirley Ave. I just don't know if the scope of this project is a good fit for the Broadway area. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was at the community meeting a week ago, and I asked the developer, I asked Dave if he could tear the building, and he said yes, and we were supposed to, I think he was supposed to redesign something with a tier in it, so it wouldn't be smack dab in the backyard of residents, and I don't see that. You know, what I'd like, if George Rotundo was still the councilor, he pushed for rooftop gardens, pushed. And that's something I really like, but I think that we really need to, you guys need to come to the table more so with the residents and see if you can work this out. But we did talk about tearing the building, put tiers, so it wouldn't be smack in the deck, and I don't see that. So I'm kind of a little disappointed in that. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Janino.
I think it's a beautiful building, but bad location for it. I'd like to see some more work being done on the building itself, the size of it, for that neighborhood. I don't see this in downtown Revere.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the biggest issue I have with the projects, this project and projects like this, is that I understand it's a non-conforming use, non-conforming structure. However, I'm a firm believer that a redevelopment of that nonconformity should just stay within the existing footprint of what is there. The fact that you're increasing the size of the nonconformity so substantially, so significantly, is what I can't get behind. I'll never be in favor of these buildings that are on the sidewalks, no setbacks, just on top of each other. And I think we're too dense. There is a strain on our infrastructure. There's concern about our wastewater under the 2010 consent decree. I don't know if projections were thought about in that consent decree to handle the types of increases that we're putting on our infrastructure in terms of capacity to our sewer and things like that. What's there now in the wastewater that it's producing in terms of what it would produce with 116 units is going to be vastly different. So I don't know if all those things are being taken into consideration. And I think it's too much of a strain also on our public service, our traffic, police, fire, ambulatory, everything. So projects of this size and scope are the biggest thing that I hear from residents that they do not want any more of. So it's very difficult for me to sit here and approve or support something that I know my constituents are against. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just briefly, obviously, this is going to my zoning committee, but I will state that I have heard from a lot of people on this and not favorably. But we'll let this work out in zoning, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other councilors? Hearing none. Permission to speak from the chair? Thank you. I love the design. I wish it was in a different location. This is actually, not this project, Broadway is something I can't get in favor of. I don't think the building should go there. I'm not in favor of it. I'm not in favor of any projects coming to Broadway, so maybe save your time for the future. But that's where I stand, and best of luck. Thank you. This will be referred to zoning.
Calendar item number 4, hearing called as ordered on a petition submitted by National Grid to relocate pole number 556 approximately 10 feet northwest out of the driveway of the property located at 3 True Street.
Petitioner.
Hello. Petra Ijeka, here to represent National Grid, 170 Medford Street in Malden.
Thank you.
So National Grid is petitioning to be relocating the pole 556 located on True Street, about approximately 10 feet away from the driveway that it is currently in, so that it's no longer affecting the customer.
Thank you. Any other proponents? Do we have any proponents? Anyone here in favor? Hearing none, closing that side. Any opponents? Do we have anyone here against? Hearing none, closing that side. Councilor Cogliando.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the phone call the other day with the heads up. I just have a question about the impact to the neighborhood during the work. Are we looking at road closures, or what are we looking at there?
That is something that I am not sure of, unfortunately. I know that it is a small road, unfortunately. We will probably be, there probably is some call with the police that they will have to make, but other than that, I am not certain exactly if they're going to be closing that street.
It seems like a simple pole change. So.
It is, yeah, it was an unfortunate thing that the driveway is right there, so we had to locate it, and that was the only location.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you, Council. Councilor Hess.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just had one question. I know this is a relocation for a residence. I had put a motion in for 321 Charger Street, also regarding moving a pole relocation. Is this something that National Grid pays for?
That is typically something that the customer would have to pay for because the pole is already there. If the pole has been there for a while and the customer built around it, that the pole has the right to be there, so the customer has to pay for it because he's the one who built there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that usually falls on the customer.
That usually follows on the customer,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other councilors? Okay. Madam Clerk, can we call the roll?
Shall the City Council approve the petition of National Grid for 3 True Street in accordance with the plan on file? Councilor Agenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Jaramillo? Yes. Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, the petition has been granted.
Thank you.
Calendar item number 5, hearing called as ordered on an ordinance further amending the zoning ordinances relative to minor corrections to the accessory dwelling unit zoning ordinance.
Proponents? Mr. Sikowski?
Evening, councilors. Tom Skrowski, 281 Broadway. What you have in front of you are some basically administrative tweaks that we had to make to the ordinance after it was approved. We've been seeing a lot of applications coming through site plan, and there were just 2 main items that we noted as corrections. One to come in conformance with the state law, I think was just an oversight on our part. And then the other one is we were amending the ordinance on the fly the night of we got a number wrong in a citation. So to go over both of those in short detail. So first was the off-street parking requirements, 17, 25, 30. We all talked about within a half mile of a radius of a T-stop or a bus stop, you're not allowed to require parking, which, you know, I think we all agreed to that fact in over much debate. What we forgot to do was leave off the second clause, which was left over from the previous ordinance, which stated, and the existing principal dwelling complies with off-street parking requirements, because basically, if we leave that in, it in essence, runs afoul of that state law that says we can't require, under any circumstances, parking within a half mile. So that's the first one. The second one, 17, 25, 40, letter A. That was just an incorrect reference. So Councilor Jaramillo had proposed an amendment about rear and side yard percentages of occupied land if a property is within the floodplain and can't build in the basement, essentially. And we just got the number wrong on the citation that we all referenced. So I think what we all agreed to that evening was 172520, Section C. And I think it read as 17,520. So we're just correcting the record there, more or less. But happy to take any questions on those if you have them.
Thank you, Tom. Do we have any other proponents? Anyone else here in favor? Proponents? Okay, closing that side. Opponents? Any opponents? Anyone here against? Hearing none. Closing that side. City councilors. Councilor Guarino-Swire.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tom, I'm going to ask, I have one little request. When you come in front of the council with these, it says Chapter 17.25 of the revised ordinance of the City of Revere, hereby amended by deleting the following 760 CRM, can you please write what it is about instead of me having to look it up? Because I have a very short time in order to review the packet and get myself ready for this meeting. And if it's not written exactly what you want to change from this to this, then it takes a long time for us to go there and try to figure out what each ordinance is.
Understood. I thought that was in the packet. In between
It's
this.
not in the packet.
Okay.
It's-
No, I think you're right. I thought it was. It wasn't. I have it in front of me. What I can also just commit to after the public hearing is closed, I'll run up to my office before the next time I'll be speaking in front of the council, make some copies, distribute them all to you tonight, so you have that.
I just want to make sure it's done for the future.
No, understood.
Thank you.
Got you.
Thank you,
Tom.
Mr. President.
Any other city councilors? Okay, this will be referred to zoning.
Calendar item number 6, hearing called as ordered on an ordinance further amending Appendix A, Table of Fees of the revised ordinances of the City of Revere.
Proponents? Mr. Visquet?
Good evening, Council. Richard Visquet. I am here to speak in favor of the changes to the ordinance with regard to fees. We will come forward at the public meeting with some recommended changes. I know that Claire and the Solicitor's Office did clean up some of the older language that is obsolete now, but for the public, for the subcommittee, we will bring forward some amendments on the fees themselves, but a lot of the changes you see before you right now are just cleaning up some of the old antiquated fees that don't exist anymore. But I am in favor of cleaning this ordinance up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Visquet. Any other proponents? Anyone else here in favor? Hearing none, and closing that side. Any opponents? Anyone here against? Hearing none, closing that side. City councilors? Councilor Argenzio?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Visquet, you had stated previously that when this fee structure was going to be changed, you'd also consider doing the 3% community impact for short-term rental. Will that be part of the discussion?
Yeah, that'll be part of all the amendments that we put forward with regard to some of these fees that have, I mean, some of them haven't been changed in 20, 30 years. So we did a fee survey. We've got a bunch of data that I'm going to try to summarize and then have Claire kind of insert those into an amended language that would fit in with that. But yes, we are considering that as well. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other city councilors? This will be referred to Legislative Affairs.
Calendar item number 7, hearing called as ordered on the revocation of Chapter 148 license number 651, 22 Naples Road, granted January 24th of 22 for cause.
Proponents? Councilor?
Mr. President, good evening, honorable members of the City Council. James Sippoletta, 385 Broadway and 5 Fremont Street, Winthrop, on behalf of Mr. Marenghi.
You're an opponent, I would assume. You're opposing this, the revocation, right?
Yes.
So this is for proponents. I just wanted to be clear. Please don't touch the air conditioning. No, I'm just kidding.
That's okay. So do we have any proponents? Anyone here in favor? Okay, closing that side here. None. Opponents? Thank you.
Apologies, Mr. President. Again, James Cipolletta on behalf of Mr. Marengi. So we're here to answer any questions that the council may have, and I understand it's a public hearing and that there are two issues on the agenda. One is with regard to a Chapter 148 license for storage of flammables. The enforcement authority of that is the fire department under Chapter 148, Section 13, and the CMRs. I have not seen any report from the fire department. The other is with regard to the special permit that was issued in March of 2021, and I think that might be the more the broader issue. I understand that when the City Council saw fit to issue issue Mr. Marengi the special permit under Chapter 40A and Section 17 of the Revere revised ordinances, after the license holder had been through the site plan review committee and came out with a positive recommendation, had to get a special permit for the operation of the garage. And the council did, in fact, on 9 March of 2021, issue that special permit. There were some conditions, and I believe there are 6 or 7 conditions. Most of them are standard conditions, but it seems that there's some confusion as to whether or not Mr. Marengi has complied with or violated 1 or 2 of the conditions. And if I might point out, from what I know, and having not heard the evidence against him, there was some concern whether or not he had installed the fire lane that goes around the building. Yes, he did. It's marked, it's painted, it's yellow. We had photos for that. There was also a condition that says that he was to put planters in flower pots out in front of the building. Well, he did that originally. Some drivers are better than others, some are worse than others, and on 2 occasions those got taken out. When it was brought to our attention, and I did have a conversation with a couple of people here in the hall, we did put those flower pots back out in the front of the building, and we have photos of those as well. There were 2 other conditions regarding to striping of parking spaces. Parking spaces in the rear should be designated and striped. They are. We have photos. They're yellow, and we'd like to make those part of the record as well. Additionally, there is a condition for designated and striped parking spaces in the front of the building. We have those. Those are yellow. They're striped. We have photos, and they are in place today. There is one of them, and I must admit that I understand that there was to be a gate. It's to be fenced along the side and the rear of the property, and so on and so forth. There was some discussion whether or not those gates were to be locked. The condition that's part of the special permit is not clear, but in having conversations over the last week or so, what we thought would be the best thing to do, and we'll go by the guidance of the council because you are the special permit granting authority, with regard to this condition. I guess the analogy would be, why have a front door if you can't close it and lock it? So I think this is a security measure. It's to take care of all of the cars other people have left there. They're property of third parties. And the owner has the the obligation to take care of those and make those safe and secure. Also, there are flammables and other things inside the building that could be used as part of explosive or inflammatory devices, which would not want people to get their hands on. So what we've done, and we have photos of this as well, there was a lockbox, and there is a term the fire department and the security people refer to. There's a key in there for the lock on the gate. If the council wants a different method, we're happy to do it. But A lot of times when special permits are written and conditions are imposed and site plan review says, we think this is a good idea, but you may want to consider all of these things, what you get is sort of a general description of the condition without, some of the other things that might be sort of ancillary to that, and it doesn't become an issue until it's an issue. And so I hope that the council recognizes that Mr. Marangi did not do any of this intentionally. He's done everything that he's, anytime somebody's asked him to do something, he's done it. We've withdrawn, there was a building permit that was in contention that we withdrew when one of the neighbors had filed an application for before the Zoning Board of Appeals, appealing the issuance of the building permit and the certificate of occupancy. We surrendered that building permit. So he's been nothing but cooperative. He doesn't want to fight with anybody. That business has been there for probably half a century, and now it's generational. Mario is operating that. I mean, these are people who get up in the morning, they go out to work early, they get their hands dirty, they go home late, and they're a service to the public. So I think we can do something and come, hopefully, to a point we've satisfied any concerns that any of the councilors had, and he's more than willing to do that. We just want to be in compliance.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other opponents? Do we have anyone here against? Anyone else? Closing that side, city councilors. Councilor Cogliandro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Cipolletta, Mr. Marangi, thank you for being here tonight. When did you paint the lines for the fire lane?
Originally, we painted them, when we first did the property, we painted them in the back, and we put the flower pots out front. And then when this all arose, we refreshened up the back, and when the gentleman was here, they were not required in the front, but we added the front parking spots so people have a better place to know where to park, and the flower pots would get hit. The flower pots on the special permit says that that's the parking indicators. So what we did is we made the spots and we put the pots at each corner of the parking spots.
So you painted the fire lane back when this special permit was approved?
The fire lane?
The fire, from pictures I've seen recently, you put a fire lane sign and there
Yep.
were lines, so that's new.
We've been all freshening this all up.
Okay, but that's been there?
This marking's here. Is that required to put those fire lane markings
No,
there?
what I'm asking you is, when did you originally put markings down for the fire lane? Was it back when the permit was approved with the conditions, or did you just do it recently?
We just did these recently. These were not, that I read this permit, I read it with my lawyer. These, I don't see anywhere in the special permit that these have to be here.
No,
I added these because people on that street that go to the businesses on that property, they pull their cars onto my property.
So
we put those there recently.
Yep.
Just so people would say, okay, there's a fire lane, I should not park here in front of these gates.
Okay, I'm glad you just said that. So we all agree that it's a fire lane, and you should not park there.
We do
But,
not.
Listen, for the last, I can speak for the last 3 weeks, you've had semi-tractor trailers in that, both sides. You moved it today, and on the opposite side, you have another truck sitting in what's supposed to be a fire lane. I would like an explanation, because there's no way that you guys didn't know about this. And I'm furious with the fire inspector, I'm furious with the building inspector, because frankly, I don't know how you were issued a certificate of occupancy when you never made good on the conditions of the special permit in the first place. So I want to know, now that you've said that this is a fire lane, why you think it's okay to park there and perform work in that fire lane. And further, you guys, at the ZBA meeting, you testified that they were going to build the canopy, which was originally a metal carport, okay? And you testified that they weren't going to do anything with it. But at site plan, it was said that you were going to use it for insurance inspections. So please forgive me. I'm sorry. I want understanding as to why parking giant trucks in a fire lane is okay, and why you waited until today to move one of them. That's what I want to know. And further, why the fire inspector hasn't been out finding them, because this is a clear as day fire lane, right? This is, everybody agrees. There's supposed to be fire lanes on both sides and in the back. So that's what I want to know.
When a customer does drop off a vehicle, a truck, he parks it there, I immediately move that vehicle out of that parking spot. If it sits there longer than however long, if I'm not there at that moment or I'm tied up with the gentleman talking to him, we do move it right away, sir.
It's a fire lane. If you park in front of Market
But now-
Basket on the fire lane, you get ticketed, and if you keep it there, you get towed.
Well, that's why we put those markings there, just so a customer, if they pull up, or any customer, if it's not my business, a different business, they see that's a fire lane, they should not park there.
So you haven't answered my question. You have a locked gate with, now we know there's a Knox box there, which I'm pleased with that. Why are there trucks parked in there at all? And they're parked overnight. They're parked there for hours. Unless you've done 30 FedEx trucks in the last month. I want an explanation as to why you parked there. I want an explanation why there hasn't been ticketing done to you guys. This is such a blatant disregard. And I just want to say, I want you guys to comply. I'm not here to hurt you, but I want answers as to why you guys have disregarded the rules the entire time. That's what I want to know.
I think, Counselor, if I may, Mr. President, through you, it's recognized to be a fire lane if somebody's with the vehicle, and I understand the market basket analogy because I had this issue with Hampton Inn with the fire lanes, and when I had to come up here and talk to the council about that as well. I agree, and I will counsel my client that if it's unattended and it's parked, it's wrong. You can't do that.
If it's attended, it should be moved.
Right. If it's attended, it should be moved.
It's a fire lane. That's the whole point of this.
Well, there's no parking in a fire lane. It doesn't say you can't drive in a fire lane.
This is Section 4 of the special permit, unobstructed, 20-foot fire lane. There is no rhyme or reason why you should have a vehicle in there at all, or a steel canopy. Nothing. That is for a fire apparatus to go through in case of a fire. You cannot park vehicles in there legally, right? They should be fined according to ordinance. They should be fined. So why are you guys parking vehicles in there? We're supposed to give you leniency, we're supposed to help you, but I feel like we're beating around the bush with this one issue. And I'm sorry, but you guys should, this has been 4 years ago, these conditions were put into play. Why has it taken so long to comply? I don't understand. Okay, I'm sorry to go in on you guys like this, but what's gone on over the last 9 months is I did everything I could to not bring this here. This was not done the right way. There's something fishy going on, I'm convinced. If it walks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, it's a duck. So please explain to me why it's okay that they leave trucks in there unattended or attended. Either one is unacceptable.
Well, it's definitely not appropriate to leave and park a truck there. I would say, however, that in the ordinary course, when, and I don't know what the enforcement protocol was or whether or not it was carried out, but generally, if there's a violation, the enforcement officer, whether it be the building commissioner or the fire safety inspector or whomever, will come and give them a warning and say, hey, stop doing it. We kind of find ourselves sort of before the appeals court without actually being at the lower court, if you know. So, I mean, generally, there would be a notice in order to correct.
I've asked Fire Inspector Cheever to go enforce it. And I want to keep, I'm just letting the council know, my intention tonight is to table this, and I want a full inspection done with a report by the building inspector to make sure they comply with all the special permit conditions, because I don't think that was done. I think mistakes were made, and I don't think anyone wants to talk about it. I think this is one giant big mistake that was made. So that's my ask. I'm not trying to move this along. I don't know if anyone else has anything to say, But I would like to table this and ensure that all of these conditions are being followed. These aren't the only conditions. You have conditions from site plan review as well. I'm not going to talk about those, I'm talking about these ones. So I really have, I think I've made my point. Mr. President, thank you.
You have, Counselor. This will either be referred to public safety or zoning. Do you want that time to meet with council and the business owner?
This time, sorry, Mr. President.
Nope.
The time that, I would like to table this to make sure that you guys do the right thing. That's it. That's all I want. I want compliance. I don't want to hurt a business. I don't want to shut you down. I don't want to revoke your license. And believe me, we have cause to do that tonight, but I don't want to.
Any other city councilors? Sorry, Counselor. Any other city councilors? Counselor Zambudo.
I think that it's pretty clear that there are some conditions of the special permit that are not being followed. I agree with my colleague tabling this. He's not looking to hurt anybody, but he wants compliance, and I really believe this is doable. Just follow the special permit and get the inspections you need, and we move on. It's simple. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Cipolletta, we'll table this for this evening. If you have time to get with your client and then meet with this counselor, the ward counselor, get this going forward, and then we'll bring it into zoning or public safety.
More than happy to do it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public comment pursuant to Chapter 402 of the Acts of 1965.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you are here to speak on a motion, you will have 2 minutes. Revere residents, please step up, give your name and the item number you'll be speaking on. Anyone here to speak? Once? Twice? Okay. Ms. Dumas? Name and address, please.
Boom. So I am here to speak on item 25172, the permitting for 114 Shirley Avenue, LCC. And those of you who weren't here for the zoning subcommittee, I want y'all to hold on to your seats. This is the rare event that I am in favor of a property getting a permit to build. I have been working with the developer and with the architect for a while now. They have been acclimating to the community's needs. They have been willing to give me 6 affordable units. Just the first time a developer in the Shirley Avenue neighborhood has given anyone affordable units. They've been really comforting to the community, and I'm very happy with what they're doing and what the building looks like. They did everything except give me the color I wanted. Fingers crossed, I want it blue. So I am going to say that I'm asking you guys to give them their 5-story mixed-use building when it comes up. And I know that some of you still have some issues with our aging sewage system and our water system. Hopefully they'll work on it. I know that's why you turned down the property in Broadway, and I know some of you guys think Broadway is sacred, but Shirley Avenue is not, and we'll be talking about that later on.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. We'll be closing that. Get back to the regular order of business, Madam Clerk.
Next up is the zoning subcommittee report.
Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Obviously, the zoning committee met this evening, and C-25-10, 25-172, 114 Shirley Ave, LLC, 78 Middleton Street, Mill Street, Middleton, et cetera, et cetera. We had a lengthy discussion, and The committee voted unanimously in favor as amended, and I'd ask for a roll call.
Madam Clerk, roll call the vote.
Shall the City Council grant the special permit for 114 Shirley Avenue, subject to the conditions of site plan review and the zoning subcommittee? Counselor Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Jaramillo? Yes. Counselor Kelly?
No.
No. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo?
Yes?
Yes. And Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, the special permit has been granted.
Mr. President?
Counselor?
Hi. Could we have a suspension of the rules? We have a department head here and the item's like the last thing on the agenda.
Yes.
It's about the primary election there.
Is it the actual last item?
It's second to last.
Sorry, 28. No, I'm wrong, 27.
Okay. Madam Clerk, can we suspend the rules to take up 27? Under suspension of rules.
Calendar item number 27, motion presented by Councilor Novoselsky, that the City Council approve the following special legislation. An act eliminating the preliminary election in the City of Revere in 2025. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives in General Court assembled, and by the authority of the same as follows. Section 1, notwithstanding any general or special law to the contrary, there shall not be a preliminary election in the City of Revere as otherwise required on September 16th, 25, for the office of School Committee for a 2-year term, or for the office of City Council for a 2-year term. The candidates for those offices whose nomination papers have been duly certified shall be deemed to have been nominated, and their names shall appear on the general election ballot. Section 2, this act shall take effect upon its passage.
Thank you. City Councilors? Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, we've done this before. Last time we did it was 2017. And granted, you're supposed to do a certain way, it's double plus one in any position. But right now, there's only one, as far as legally, there's only one person in council at large and one person in school committee at large over. And we don't even know if tomorrow there still will be. But I brought it up today so we can be one step ahead in case it does come up. It's not worth it for us to hold a special election to get rid of one or two people and spend $50,000, $60,000 and have the whole city going. We're saving money to do this, and we're putting those extra people on the final ballot, and they'll all have a chance to get their votes. So I'm proposing this for today, just in case, if it comes tomorrow that we don't need it anyway, so be it. But at least now we're on record that we may have to go to the legislature for our approval on it. So that's my play right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you know, I've run in many elections and a long time ago, and I always found it a benefit to be forwarded to the final ballot. If you're running for a seat, you could be knocked out in a primary. And I've noticed in some of the primaries I were in, the people that were most vocal about wanting a primary when they could have been on the ballot got knocked out. So I think it's a benefit to, if there's only one or two people, to put them on the final ballot. And then you take your chances to win. Instead of taking your chances to get on the ballot, you're on the ballot. So, it makes a lot of sense. I don't even think we're going to get to this point, but just, those are my 2 cents. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other city councilors? Councilor Cogliandro?
Thank you, Mr. President. Right now, there would be, if everybody turned their papers in, there would be 3 primaries. One for a school committee at large, one for Ward 1 School Committee, and one for Ward 1 City Councilor, if everyone turns their papers in tomorrow. That's it. At-large only has 8. I don't want to get too into it and encourage somebody to start pulling their papers, but I just, I have all the respect for Councilor Novoselsky in the world, but I feel like this is circumventing our democracy, and I think it's an important part of what we do. So I can't support this tonight. Thank you.
Any other city councilors? Councilor Argenzio.
Thank you. Could you come up to the mic, and I just have a question for you.
Hello, Danielle Petrantonio, Election Commissioner. Yes, as of right now, there isn't any races that would be eligible for a primary. There's a possibility for 3, but as you know, the deadline to pass in and have everything certified is tomorrow. And one of those, the school committee at large, is actually dependent on, we had one candidate pull papers for 2 races. They can only be on the ballot for 1, so they have until August 14th to decide. So that would be dependent on that as well. So even if everyone did pass in their papers, it still wouldn't be a guarantee that we would have the at-large race. But yeah, as of now, there isn't any races that would require a primary.
Okay, thank you. And you said something interesting. So you can put your papers in for 2 different seats, and then you have till August 14th to decide which one you want to run for?
So you can only be on the ballot for 1. You can pull papers for 2. August 14th is the last day for objections or withdrawals. So they have to submit a notarized letter withdrawing from one of the races. If they don't, then they're off the ballot for both, disqualified for both. So
that's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other city councilors? Permission to speak from the chair? Are you in favor of this motion?
Yeah, listen, whichever way I'm okay with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, she's the boss. Any other city councilors? Madam Clerk?
Shall the City Council approve an act eliminating the preliminary election in the city of Revere in 2025? Councilor Argenzio.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Cogliandro.
No.
No. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Greeno Sawaya.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Jaramillo.
But, yes? No?
Voting yes.
No, maybe, yes, maybe, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yes.
Voting yes.
Sure.
Councilor Kelly.
Yes.
Voting yes. Councilor McKenna.
No.
No. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Silvestri.
No.
No, the special legislation has been approved.
Mr. President, point of personal inquiry, I guess, like,
Councilor.
Mr. President,
Councilor.
which one?
while we're still in...
Which of the 2 counselors, sorry?
He asked the question first,
Oh, I'm
Councilor. Just
sorry.
one question.
That's okay. So, is this is just a sentence of the legislature so that we may change it, or does this actually cancel the prelim?
This just canceled the prelim.
This still needs to go to the state.
Oh,
So this is just to send it to the state?
yes.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, since we're still under suspension of rules, can we take up number 10? We have a candidate here with the mayor, and I'd like to get that moving one way or the other.
Could I just ask one question?
Yes, let's finish this one, Councilor, and then we'll continue on to that. Councilor Genzio.
What we just did goes to the legislature. It only applies to this year.
Correct.
Okay. thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Mr. President, so is it going to make it in time through the House? How, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I know I voted no. Please, is this going to make it through the mayor, the reps, the Senate, and the governor by the time the election comes? Because if we do that, does this then apply to the mayoral race in 2 years? No, I'm just making sure. Just making sure. Yes, but it says 2025, but is it going to be done by then?
I can't speak to the current legislature, but if this particular special legislation has been passed before by this council
Okay, so the state legislature has got to it in the past, and hopefully they will get to it this time.
So if it doesn't, does it just dissipate, goes away?
I believe so.
Okay.
Madam Clerk?
I'm not the city attorney, however, if it's approved after a preliminary be required, I don't understand, we would still have to pull the preliminary.
Yeah. She's not the attorney, but she plays one often on TV.
I'll allow it. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Under suspension of rules, can we take up motion 10, please? Yeah. No, we're going to 10 now.
Yeah, but we were suspended for that last item,
Okay, yes. Yes, back to the regular order of business, Madam Clerk.
Calendar item number 10, communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of Danny Hernandez as Director of Veteran Services.
Mr. President, Honorable Council, I'm here before you again this evening for an appointment. I appreciate you taking us out of order. I couldn't hear anything back there either, for the record. I want to welcome up Danny Hernandez, if appointed, our new Veteran Service Agent Officer. Danny is a resident of Revere. You may see him. I've gotten to know Danny over the last few years as one of the chaplains at the Beachmont Post, but also as a parent at a few parent-teacher and engagement nights at the Rumney Marsh Academy. Got to know Danny as a very involved and engaged parent and as a very good person, but also as a veteran in our community who happens to come from a family that serves in the armed forces. So far as the interim VSO, Danny has done doing a great job and working really well with the team down there. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does over the next many years serving this role, and I'm excited to present his appointment. So without further ado, I'll ask Danny to come up and speak for himself.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. This is Danny Hernandez, 295 Crescent Ave. Any questions for me? Okay,
Thank you. Madam, one more time. Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to waive this tonight. We're appointing him tonight. I would really like to waive this and appoint him tonight, not just have it as a communications, because he's here, you're here, and everybody's here. So, Dan, what are you going to bring to the table for the veterans? And could you just speak a little bit about your background? I did read.
Sure enough.
Thanks.
So I'm originally from East Boston. I joined the military in 1997, and I served 6 years, got out because I wanted to go to college, and I got the infamous phone call. They say, Sergeant Hernandez? I go, no, you mean Danny Hernandez. And they said, they gave me a date and time, and I reported, and I went to serve overseas in Iraq, where I met my wife, who's currently in the military. So we're a strong, not just a previous military, but we're currently still actively serving. Got my 2 college degrees. I got 3 daughters. They're all in high school. Well, they're a rising senior, a rising junior, and a rising freshman. We call them deployment babies, but it's for another time and place. You get it, right? Yeah. So, but that's a little gist of my background. As far as what have I done or what can I do is, I've always volunteered. I'm big on volunteering, not just for the city of Revere, but also for the city of Saugus, sometimes Lynn, and other cities throughout the region. I've always been the person that's been behind the scenes. I never like to be in the spotlight, but someone gave me an offer and gave me a directive, and here I am.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask the council to confirm this appointment tonight, and I'm going to hand it over to President Silvestri to open it up for discussions for the councilors.
Thank you, Councilor
Thank
McKenna.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McKenna. Councilor Cogliano.
Thank you, Mr. President. Danny, you've done a wonderful job as chaplain. And I just, on a personal level, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your work at the Veteran Food Bank in the Veteran Service Office. And I'm excited to have you, man.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Greeno-Swire.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to offer a few words of support to Danny Hernandez. I recently had the opportunity to meet him. I went in his office last week, and honestly, I was truly impressed. I could actually see his clear sense of organization in that office, whether it was stemming from his military background or just his OCD. But Danny's work ethic was, with his strong organizational skills, are exactly what that department needs. But more importantly, through our conversation, it became clear that Danny puts veterans and their families above all else. I have full confidence in that under his leadership, that the veterans will have top priority for the city of Revere. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Haas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Danny, it's been a pleasure getting to know you the last few years. I know how much you care for the city. I know how much you care for the veterans. You guys have done a fantastic job at the Beachmont VFW. Jerry, Dina, it's just a fantastic group over there, and I wish you nothing but luck. Like I said before, if the council can support in any way, please reach out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Jaramillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Danny, really excited. Mr. Mayor, congratulations on another great appointment. 2 for 2 today. Of course, particularly excited to hear that you're the chaplain. I mean, I knew you were the chaplain, but excited that we're appointing a chaplain to lead our city, because I know that folks that join the military often doing it as the sense of duty for our country. But you know, the faith teaches about ensuring that we're caring for the most needy. And oftentimes, we're very good about sending our young women and men into war, but not as good about taking care of them when they come home, offering them housing and health care and a good, dignified life. And I know that that's going to be something that you'll embody in your new role here in the city of Revere, and not just for veterans, but I trust that you'll do it for as a city official with a cabinet level position within the city, that you'll do for all of our community to bring that faith and that philosophy to government is something that I look forward to seeing more of around here, and I really appreciate. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dan, welcome aboard. I know you've been, kind of filling in some slots since our last VSO left, and I want to congratulate you and thank you for what you've done so far. And just to give everybody a little briefing, Danny, these are bottle caps from your water bottles. And Danny collects these. This is one of the things that he does. He collects these for another organization. They make prosthetics for wounded soldiers. So if anybody out there has bottle caps,
White.
it has to be the white ones. Okay, no other color, just white. And get them down to Danny at the VFW, or bring them down to the Veterans Office. And that's one thing. And then everybody knows about the flag boxes that we have for the used flags. We have 3 of them around the city. One in Squire Road, one at the VFW in Beachmont, and one up on Broadway in front of the Legion building. And these boxes are like mailboxes where you put old, used, and unusable flags that are in deplorable condition, and we properly dispose of them. And this past week, Danny went around to the 3 boxes, and I don't know how many you I had to get 1,000 flags out of all these boxes. And he brought them over to Resco, or Wind Waste, and they destroy them for us the proper way.
Correct.
So I thank him for that. And what you're doing downstairs, working on the office, and you got a great staff down there. The food bank is outstanding, and just keep up the good work and take care of our veterans.
Will
Good
do.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Andy, congratulations, but you're a veteran, a man of faith, a family man. I got to congratulate the mayor on picking you. So we don't know each other, but this is a wonderful appointment, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Kelly.
Hi, we haven't met yet either, but I just wanted to congratulate you. Your background is outstanding, and I think you're going to be perfect, and I'm excited to know that you're going to be in that position, so best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Permission to speak from the chair? Danny, congratulations. We've known each other for a while now. That office really needs some life like yourself. You and Donna together will do some amazing work. So anything we can do to support you, please let us know. Congratulations, and do a great job, man. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Mr. President,
Counselor,
reconsideration with the hope that it doesn't prevail?
we have to vote first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yes. She wants you, Danny. She wants you in that position. Madam Clerk, if we could roll call the vote.
Sure. Shall the City Council confirm the appointment of Danny Hernandez as Director of Veteran Services? Counselor Agenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Jaramillo?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, the appointment has been confirmed.
Mr. President,
Madam Counselor.
thank you. Reconsideration with the hope that it does not prevail.
Under
The rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Sorry about that.
we are
I
under
thought
suspension, right?
we were already.
Oh, okay.
This,
Okay.
we're on item 10, so.
Okay. Under suspension of rules, in hopes that it does not prevail. Madam Clerk, well, we're under the suspension of rules now. Can we take up motion number 22 while we have the VSO in front of us?
Calendar item number 22, motion presented by Councilors Guarino Sawaya, Council President Silvestri, Councilor Agenzio, and Councilor Novoselsky, that the mayor request the Veterans Service Office to install a memorial pole on Cambridge Street in honor of Warren Francis Myers, First Lieutenant, 4021st Quartermaster Truck Company, United States Army, World War II.
Councilor Guarino Sawaya.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I want to say I took an unconventional approach to this, so please bear with me. I apologize for not jumping in it the right way, but this started back in April when, I'll just get into my story. Warren Francis Myers was a lifelong resident of Revere and a dedicated member of the Revere Police Department. He served the country honorably as First Lieutenant with the 4021st Quartermaster Truck Company during World War II, seeing action in Rhineland and Central Europe campaigns. Lieutenant Myers was wounded on April 18th, 1945, when his convoy was attacked by German aircraft over Sabre, Germany. He was awarded the Purple Heart and received an honorable discharge on June 25th, 1946. Officer Myers was never fully recovered from his injuries and passed away on November 12th, 1950. His service and sacrifice exemplify the courage and dedication of Revere's veterans and public servants. The placement of a memorial pole will stand as a permanent reminder of Warren Francis Myers' devotion to his country, his community, and the city of Revere. This was brought to my attention by Seth Wyzanski, a Revere police officer who also serves in the military and is scheduled to deploy to Iraq in August. He asked if this memorial pole could be installed on Cambridge Street and for it to come to fruition prior to his departure. I'm proud to share, along with my colleagues, that everything is in place, including the location and the creation of the sign. The location will be at the corner of Mountain and Cambridge Street. Councilor Agenzio went down there today to make sure that it was a good spot. God willing, and if all continues to go smoothly, the memorial pole will be installed on August 10th at 10 a.m. This will be a meaningful and lasting tribute, and I'm deeply grateful to everyone who helped make this possible. I would especially like to thank Mayor Patrick Keefe, Veterans Service Officer Danny Hernandez in Veterans Services, Council President Mark Silvestri, Councilor Paul Argenzio, and Councilor Ivan Novoselsky for all their help in making this happen. And I really appreciate everyone voting for this tonight so we can make sure that the poll gets put up on August 10th prior to Officer Wyzanski's being deployed. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Argenzio? Okay. Danny?
So my vote is yes, if that's what you're looking for. So absolutely. But just to be clear, I'm very structured. I like rules, policies, and procedures. We had the discussion. So on our website, Veteran Services, I uploaded a memo that basically spells out what the expectations are moving forward with me. After Memorial Day, I'll give myself 6 months to collect information for any applications. I don't see an influx of applications, but if we ever do, I spelled it out that I want 6 months to go through the vetting process, and then by the end of January, have some sort of like bring it to the board if I have to present it, and then on Memorial Day, that calendar year, we'll have the actual ceremony with the families, with the poll, and then dictate what day and time we'll have it. At a minimum, maybe max 6 ceremonies because we have 6 wards. But I don't really foresee, and hopefully we don't have more than many, if you know what I mean. Clear? Awesome.
Excellent. Thank you. And just so you know, the next time you come up and do one of these, you'll be the person reading the thing about the veteran and giving all the information and confirming that you checked their DD 214 and all that. Councilor Guarino-Swire did jump the gun, but in recognition of a veteran, we'll let it slide.
Understood.
Madam Clerk, if we could roll call the vote, please.
Shall the City Council approve the installation of a memorial pole on Cambridge Street in honor of Warren Francis Myers? Councilor Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guarino-Swire?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Hess?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Jaramillo? Yes. Yes. Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, the motion has been approved.
Thank you. Danny, congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to the regular order business.
Calendar item number 11, communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of Victor Pelletier to the Human Rights Commission.
This will be referred to appointments.
Calendar item number 12, communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of Albert Teshi to the Human Rights Commission.
Refer to appointments.
Calendar item number 13, communication from the Chief of Planning and Community Development relative to zoning amendments for battery energy storage systems.
Anyone?
Public hearing.
This will go to a public hearing.
Calendar item number 14, communication from the city auditor relative to the FY25 year-end free cash appropriations.
Mr. Viskey.
Good evening, councilors. Rich Fiscal, 281 Broadway, CFO. What we have before you tonight is our final free cash appropriations for fiscal year 2025. These appropriations are meant for us to fill any deficits within the operating budget for 25 and close the books without any deficits that would reflect poorly on our free cash certification and our audit. So I'm here to answer any questions on the 3 free cash proposals before you. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Any city councilors have any questions? Councilor Agenzio?
Hi, Mr. Viskey, the $270,000 for the street lighting, that seems like a staggering figure. Was that much in the red?
The short answer is yes. However, we are reviewing. We did turn all our street lights to LED lights several years back, and we were supposed to realize a bunch of savings there, and we haven't really seen that come to fruition. So we are actually reviewing all of our bills and trying to get some answers on where these savings are. But, you know, we did look, and this is 12 months worth of bills, and you know, the energy costs, they kind of go up and down. We do have a cost set in for our suppliers, but some of the National Grid charges are beyond our control. But yeah, we looked into it. There is a deficit there. If there's reimbursements due to us, we will bring it back into the budget for fiscal year 2026 into the, you know, either through free cash or as an offset to our 26 budget. But right now, without enough time to research it and have it squared away before the fiscal year end, I just wanted to ensure that we wouldn't take a $270,000 penalty on our free cash for an appropriation deficit. Energy costs, we have to pay them no matter what, so got to keep the lights on, no pun intended. Right. But there's definitely some research that we're doing with regard to where these savings were when we did all these LED light transfers over a few years back.
Yeah, I was superintendent when that happened, and I asked that question of National Grid, and they said, you know, where's the big savings? And they said, well, the rate for streetlights has skyrocketed. So
well, we're drilling down.
If you didn't go to LED, you really would have been in the red.
Yeah,
so
and
that's the answer I got when I asked
I think there's some refunds that we're due with regard to this, and we are actively pursuing those right now.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. One thing on the street lighting, I know we had several years ago all the LEDs put in, and a lot of us weren't happy with the size of the lights that were put in. Now, I've asked for lights to be increased in certain areas for public safety, and I seem to be getting pushback from DPW of allowing National Grid to do it. And they're saying that they're working on whatever they're working on to try and straighten out the different accounts. But I don't, you know, I know we probably have to pay for that, but it's a public safety issue. And I think that we should be doing things and not holding things up and potentially having someone get hurt because there's not enough light at an intersection where there's a crosswalk. So, you know, I hope that you can bring this to the mayor and to, you know, the superintendent, that, you know, I'm not happy having to wait. I've been waiting in some cases over a year, you know, between National Grid and DPW to get this thing straightened out. So I'm not going to hold this up because, you know, I know we probably do need the money, and I know like I said, we probably do have to pay for things, but things are asked for a reason, not for stopgapping things. So I'd ask that you bring it back to the proper authorities to push those through.
Yeah, I don't really have much knowledge of that, Counselor, but I'll bring it back and talk to the superintendent and try to get a little more information. But these are just kind of year-end transfers. We're trying to close the books, but I hear what you're saying, and I'll bring it back to the right people.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, have asked for different wattages on lights, certain lights. National Grid, when we transferred to LED, they made the decision of what wattage should go in what street light. And there are some major intersections and crosswalks that need more lighting down there, and they have 25 watts instead of 100. So it's some places are really dark, and they made that decision. I thought the city should make that decision on, like I have a gigantic walkway. It's a crosswalk, and it's double the size. And there's 25 watts on, you know, the corners. So I just don't know who makes that decision. but some places should be really looked at, and as ward councilors, we can make that, we can identify that, and maybe we can put the proper wattage in these places that need them.
Yeah, it's certainly not in my
Thank you.
wheelhouse, but we'll relay the message for sure.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other councilors? Madam Clerk?
Shall the City Council approve the following appropriations from free cash? $300,000 to police details account, $270,000 to street lighting, and $431,074 to workers' compensation trust. Counselor Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Jaramillo?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo? Oh, absent. And Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, that communication has been approved. Calendar item number 15, communication from the city auditor relative to the FY25 year-end water and sewer stabilization fund transfer.
Mr. Viskey?
Thank you. Good evening. Again, this is a transfer that we held off on throughout the year because we anticipated in the fiscal year 2025 rate setting that we would have approximately a $2 million shortfall due to the fact that we had a 3-year rate structure at 4.25%. Didn't want to go ahead and transfer that money too early. We do have that actively invested in a trust account that we expect to get our return on our investment. But preliminarily, when we looked at closing the fiscal year 2025 books, our fears were confirmed that we're about $1,850,000 short in our revenues to cover all the costs of the enterprise fund. So I guess the good news is that the math seemed like it was accurate that we would have this shortfall. So wanted to hold off till the last day of the fiscal year to actually make that transfer from our stabilization account of water and sewer to our water and sewer enterprise fund so that we can close the books without a $1.85 million revenue shortfall. So this was somewhat anticipated, but again, waited till the last day to make this transfer so we could keep that money invested actively until the last very minute. So I'll try to answer any questions on that if anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Counselor. Any city councilors? Okay, Madam Clerk?
Shall the City Council approve an appropriation from the Water and Sewer Stabilization Fund to the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund in the amount of $2 million? Counselor Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Jaramillo?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McKenna? Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. And Counselor Zambudo is absent, and Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, the transfer has been approved. Calendar item number 16, communication from the city auditor relative to the FY25 year-end transfers.
Mr. Viskey?
Thank you again. The theme of tonight is year-end transfers. This is the last meeting that we can fulfill any transfers of funds with regard to fiscal year 2025. So before we go and ask for supplemental funding from free cash or otherwise, we try to look from within the budget to see which accounts may have had some surpluses and use those dollars to fill the deficits in other accounts. So this has been something we've done routinely every year. So what you see before you is a bunch of transfers from and transfers to that foot out to approximately $1.44 million from various accounts to various accounts. And if anyone has any particular questions on the nature of any of those transfers, I'm happy to answer those questions.
Thank you. Do we have any city councilors? Councilor Novoselsky?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, through you to Mr. Viskey, how come there was $275,000 in veterans left over?
Well, we appropriate typically every year $705,000 for veterans benefits, and certainly I would never want to come before this council and think cutting those. But we do, over the last several years, find that we do not spend all of that. There hasn't been any active wars in a while. We fulfill all the obligations of the veterans, but simply put, if there's not enough claims against that veteran service, it becomes surplus that would otherwise go to free cash. But in this case, we're using that surplus just to fill some of the other holes in the budget. So not from anything other than the fact that we've been under budget on claims for the veterans in the city for one reason or another. But I think it's probably the fact that we haven't had a lot of active military service, so we take care of those that get the benefits, but we don't have any new people that are drawing down on those. So just a surplus from an appropriation.
Through you, Mr. President, and also on the MNR, the CC, $423,400.
Yeah, they received a really large amount of reimbursements from the 911 calls that we get. We do get grants from the state from the volume of calls we get, and those reimbursements, those grant dollars we like to spend before we spend our appropriation. So this is basically a result of us having our appropriation offset of the apportionment of our costs to the 911 call center. So we budget the gross amount. If they get grants in that exceed what their expectations are, it brings down our respective costs from the cities of Revere and Winthrop.
One more thing, Mr. President. On the transfer to the solicitor on the settlement, what was the $154,000 settlement?
That's the various settlements that we get through the year that we're required by law to pay settlements, whether the cash is there or not. If we don't provide for that deficit, the Department of Revenue makes us raise it on our tax rate. So as opposed to burdening us with the 26 tax rate raising that, we're just looking to clean that up with some of these surplus dollars. So it wasn't one particular settlement. Sometimes it's 20,000 here, 50,000 here. I can provide you probably with that list, but I don't have it before me.
That's okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other city councilors? Counselor Argenzio.
I just have one question. Just getting back to the water rate. When the 4.25% rate was set, we were aware that that was going to cause a deficit.
I don't know that I was aware it was going to cause a deficit on the third year of the three-year rate structure, but what had happened is we were using one-time revenue from the ARPA funds, and we had stabilization and free, retained during the transfer as free cash, otherwise to stabilize those rates. So the prior mayor had very strong feelings about trying to keep these water rates very stable and as low as possible, the increases, but it really wasn't sustainable without using one-time monies, and we've kind of come to the end of the rope on that, and that's why we had that kind of large increase for 26, because it kind of hurts me to appropriate $2 million from our reserve funds to stabilize these rates. I mean, that's what it's there for in some respects, but with this appropriation, we're down to about $3.5 million in an account that had $7 or $8 million in a few years back. So we really got to start to build that reserve again. So that's why we really got to kind of get our rates in line with actual costs, so we can start to build up those reserves again.
So the rate we just set, you don't feel as though that will cause a deficit?
Well,
we're fairly confident that that's...
I put a $500,000 placeholder in there just because I think it's prudent, and you just never know, because it could be a dry spring, a wet spring. You got new buildings that are coming on using water, and those assessments sometimes are trailing average. So, we do our best to look at the history of the usage, and, we really try to set the rates accordingly. I'd love to be able to say that everything's going to be great 12 months from now, but, we have a pretty good handle on it. I think we do pretty well at estimating these, so I'm hoping that the 9.7% brings us back to par, but I just put something in there as a placeholder, much like we did here. If we get to the end of 12 months next year and it looks like we don't need to transfer the money, I certainly wouldn't do it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other city councilors? Point of personal privilege? Just as CFO said, as the former VSO, the budget is usually set with a lofty balance over, and we never even came close to that while I was there. So that's sufficient, just so everyone knows. And then, Madam Clerk, if we can take 3 roll calls, please.
Shall the City Council approve general fund transfers in the amount of $1,437,901 as reported by the CFO to close fiscal year 25 with no appropriation deficits? Councilor Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hass?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Jaramillo?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Zambudo is absent, and Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, the transfer has been approved. Shall the City Council approve Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund transfers in the amount of $105,202 as reported by the CFO to close fiscal year '25 with no appropriation deficits? Counselor Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Jaramillo?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo is absent, and Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, the transfer has been approved. And lastly, shall the City Council approve a transfer from the DPW Solid Waste Recycling Disposable Account to Permanent Salaries Account in the amount of $9,000 to close fiscal year '25 with no appropriation deficits? Counselor Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Jaramillo?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo is absent, and Council President Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes, that transfer has been approved.
Thank you, Council. Thank you. I was excited to get out of here. I have with me, we got a fellow from the Massachusetts Department of Revenue that's working with the Finance Department. She went through a month-long boot camp with the Department of Revenue to learn all about municipal finance. This is the Department of Revenue's efforts to try to find people up and coming to do the jobs that some of us municipal finance people do. It's kind of a unique job that we do. I didn't go to college thinking I was going to be a CFO in a municipality. Kind of stumbled into this job, but what we're seeing at the Commonwealth statewide is something they call the silver tsunami. You're seeing a lot of us people that been doing this job for a long time starting to age out and retire. There's not really a lot of people coming up in the ranks to take our job. So this is May Long. She's here. She's did a month-long, like I said, she did a month-long boot camp with the Department of Revenue. We have her here for the summer, and what we're trying to do is expose her to all the different types of things we do. She's sat with the collector's office. She's been to a bid opening in the purchasing office. We have her working on budget stuff. What we've been doing is that she's been loading stuff into the tax rate recap and showing her how we do some Department of Revenue stuff, and thought it would be a good idea to bring her here tonight. I didn't realize we were going to have such a robust and lively meeting, but at the end of the day, I wanted her to see the process of the council appropriating these dollars and how that comes back to us and how we record all the votes. So her name's May Long. I'm happy to have her come up and introduce herself, and thank you for that, Councilor.
Thank you.
Want to say hello?
May Long?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome and good luck.
Yeah, thank
Congrats.
All right, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Motions, calendar item number 17, motion presented by the entire City Council, that the City Council send the attached letter expressing support of Republic Services workers, Teamsters Local 25, to John Vander Ark, CEO of Republic Services, relative to the failure of Republic Services to settle a contract with Teamsters Local 25.
Councilor Jaramillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. And first of all, I want to thank all my colleagues on the council who signed on to this letter. I know that you all have been following the strike that started at midnight on July 1st, which is now a month ago. The workers at Republic Service who do, actually they used to contract, the city used to contract with Republic Service, but they do waste management pickup in a lot of communities in eastern Massachusetts, went on strike for what they so rightly deserve. Republic Services is one of Forbes 500 top companies in the nation. John Vander Ark, who is named in the letter that's attached, makes $13 million a year. That's 150 times the amount that his average Massachusetts employee and worker makes. And they have a site right here in the city of Revere. And I know we're proud to be a working class community. And it is truly a shame that they won't come and negotiate with the workers, that they're walking away, and that what's on offer just doesn't quite meet our morals and our values here, because what's on offer is healthcare that is hell-bent on putting their workers into deeper poverty, lower than industry standard wages, and quite a proposal that astonished me. And as folks know, I work in the labor movement, which would essentially create a surveillance state for their workers and make them liable based on this surveillance state to lose their jobs for even the most insignificant offenses. And starting last week, John Vander Ark, who gets 100% employee-paid health care, shut off the health insurance on these workers. Many of them live right here in Revere. Many of you have joined these workers at the strike line. Can see that there's a resident, particularly from Ward 3, I won't use his name, but his health care was shut off and his Mass Health was denied. And so what's happening to hundreds of workers in eastern Massachusetts is that cancer treatments are getting shut off, insulin payments, reimbursements for prescription medicine, prenatal and perinatal care, no longer accessible because John Vander Ark and Republic Services, a multi-million-dollar corporation, is trying to squeeze these workers for a little bit more than what they can. So I really appreciate the solidarity in the chamber today, and I hope we'll hear from more of our colleagues about the injustices that these workers are facing. And most importantly, we hope that John Vander Ark directs his negotiators to come back to the table and give these workers a fair wage, good health care, and to do away with this dystopian idea of surveilling his employees. Thank you, Mr. President.
Council Guarino Swire.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Councilor Cogliano, Councilor Jaramillo, for calling all of us and putting us on this amazing motion. I stand in full support with the Teamsters workers on strike against Republic Services. I was proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with you and with all the men and women on the picket line at the Republic site in Revere. These workers are simply asking for fair wages and basic health care benefits. Nothing more than what everybody else in the industry already gets. It's not fair, it's not right. Republic's refusal to negotiate in good faith isn't just wrong, it's putting our communities at risk. Across Massachusetts and right here in Revere, dumpsters are overflowing behind restaurants, apartment buildings, and it's creating a serious public health hazard and worsening our already growing rodent crisis. They need to wake up. Wake up. It's not right. This council is united in support of these essential workers, and we are calling on Republic to return to the table immediately. Revere stands for labor, always has, and always will. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other councilors? Okay. Oh, Councilor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to thank Councilor Jaramillo for including us all on this motion. I think the behavior by Republic has been disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. They have a responsibility to go back to the bargaining table and give these workers what they deserve. In addition, they are causing a public health crisis in some communities that are having to deal with this. I stood with them on the picket line at their location in Revere. They're not asking for anything out of the ordinary. They're asking for fair, respectable wages, health insurance, and it's disgraceful that Republic has shut down negotiations, and we are urging them to get back to the table immediately. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Cogliandro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilor Jaramillo, thank you for getting us all involved on this. And I echo what Councilor Jaramillo, Councilor Kelly, and Councilor Guarino-Sawaya said. I just want to bring one idea. Boston is sending the fines to these properties right to Republic because they're not picking up trash because they're not treating their workers fairly. So maybe Revere can get on board with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Permission to speak from the chair.
Granted.
Thank you. And Councilor Jaramillo, thank you. City councilors, colleagues, thank you for standing with the Teamsters Local 25. I think we've all made ourselves clear moving forward that Republic does need to come back to the table. And as many of the councilors said here tonight, we've stood shoulder to shoulder with the men and women that are picketing that line. And as Councilor Kelly and others said, they're not looking for anything more or anything less than their competitors are getting. They're looking for equal wages and equal health benefits that everyone else in the industry is getting, except in this one company. So Republic, get back to the table, and I want to thank my colleagues for standing in solidarity with this. Thank you. All in favor, all opposed?
Aye.
So ordered.
Calendar item number 18, motion presented by Councilors McKenna and Guarino-Sawaya that the mayor request the fire department to install a dedication plaque at the new Alden A. Mills Fire Station in the Point of Pines.
Councilor McKenna?
Thank you, Mr. President. So the plaque would be all the former councilors and the current councilors that voted for the fire station. That would be the plaque. The plaque is in. It just has to be hung. A nice gesture would be to invite all the former and current councilors that voted for this new fire station and have like a little get-together and have them meet at the fire station and, you know, to watch the hanging of the plaque. So I would like to suggest that. I don't know a date, but maybe we could work it out so we could all meet there. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other city councilors? All in favor, all opposed?
Aye.
So ordered.
Calendar item number 19, motion presented by Councilor McKenna and Councilor Guarino-Sawaya that the mayor request the DCR to direct all construction workers who are working on projects along Revere Beach Boulevard to park at the Wonderland Garage. Construction companies shall facilitate pickup and drop-off of its workers from the garage to their respective project sites. Workers are using valuable parking spaces, limiting availability for residents and beach visitors.
Councilor McKenna.
Thank you. I spoke to a bunch of residents living on Revere Beach Boulevard, and all of them said that they are frustrated and unhappy with allowing construction workers coming into the construction site at 6 o'clock a.m., and I think they're doing this on purpose to get the parking space, and they're taking up parking until 5 o'clock p.m. with no help from the city or DCR. These parking spaces in front of residential houses and also for beachgoers are being used by construction workers daily for more than a year now. I believe a great solution to this problem is to bus the workers into the construction site from Wonderland and let the developers pay for the buses. This would free up the parking spaces for residents and beachgoers and resolve an ongoing daily problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Guarino-Sawaya.
I want to thank Councilor McKenna for adding me to this motion. This has been a major problem, especially in Ward 5. Residents and beachgoers along Revere Beach Boulevard are already dealing with limited parking, especially during the summer months when the area is at peak activity. Construction workers tied to DCR projects are currently occupying valuable on-street parking that should be available to the people who live here and to visitors who support our local recreational spaces and businesses. That's why Council McKenna and I are presenting this motion. We are trying to direct them to do the right thing on these construction sites and bus the workers to Wonderland instead of having them park outside. The construction company should be responsible for coordinating the pickup and drop-off to and from the sites. And just like other large-scale projects throughout the city, this simple solution helps alleviate the unnecessary burden on residents and ensures the beach remains accessible to the public. In addition, I'd like to add to this motion, if that's possible, Council McKenna, to address the ongoing issue of delivery trucks parking in front of residents' driveways, especially with that Mills Creek project along Revere Beach Boulevard. This is not only frustrating, but it's a public safety concern. Drivers need to be held accountable. No construction vehicle should be allowed to obstruct a resident's access to their own property. It's not right. The residents should not have to wait in their car for them to move or for them to come out of the job site to move their vehicle because they shut it off. It's not right. We need to hold someone responsible for it. So if we could just add onto this motion to also eliminate delivery trucks from parking in front of residents' driveways and blocking them in, I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other city councilors? All in favor, all opposed?
Aye.
As amended, all in favor, all opposed?
Aye.
So ordered.
Calendar item number 20, motion presented by Councilor Agenzio, that the mayor be requested to allocate funding from Chapter 90 funds or another funding source to pave Warren Street. The street has had a large amount of infrastructure work done over the last 5 years and is in very poor condition.
Councilor Agenzio.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just very quickly, it is in deplorable condition. A lot of infrastructure work has been done there. It's full of sunken trenches, so if some money can be allocated this year or next year, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. All in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Calendar item number 21, motion presented by Councilors Argenzio, McKenna, and Guarino-Sawaya, that the mayor request a representative from Inspectional Services to appear before the City Council to discuss the rooming house ordinance and the methods used to identify illegal rooming houses and enforcement procedures.
Councilor Agenzio.
Thank you, Mr. President. This more or less is to have a representative come up, explain the process of identifying these rooming houses and what the enforcement is. I know residents call up, say they suspect this at a house on their street, and the Inspectional Services Department is then tasked with trying to prove it. And I know that's frustrating sometimes. Maybe the council can do something to help them in that effort. I know they have to send a series of letters. When they finally notify a home that they're going to be coming in for an inspection, the night before they're running down the street with mattresses or something, emptying out the house, and maybe something the city council can do to help them with their enforcement, because it is becoming a problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a really sad situation going on in our city. Landlords are getting away with running illegal rooming houses. I know I have one next door to me that have at least 13 to 15 people with about 7 cars. I know the city can only do so much. It takes 30 days to go enter an illegal rooming house, and by then the landlord has cleaned it up so the evidence is hard to prove. When asked a Revere police officer what was his biggest fear in the job, he said walking into an illegal rooming house. By adding illegal rooming houses to the Airbnb software, we will be able to track people who are advertising these rooms and eliminate houses being used for this purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Guarino-Swire.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have this issue a lot in the Point of Pines, and luckily I have someone who I call upon all the time to help me, and they're really good with the city. But there should be other ways to try to track them. It's important for us to understand how they're currently
I know, me too.
identified, and the enforcement measures that are in place. Sometimes they're a little bit too difficult to follow, and what happens is it's like a lengthy process, and by the time you get to where you're supposed to be, they're already cleaned up everything. Like Councilor McKenna just said, they've cleaned up everything, and you don't see what's actually happening in there, but the residents are complaining. Now, I think we should explore another maybe proactive inspection based on complaints, or maybe check their utility rates if they spike. That would probably be another way, or absentee ownership may be another indicator. But it's really important that we should discuss with all these maybe department heads that will be able to help us with these illegal rooming houses, and maybe find another way of residents to feel comfortable reporting it as well. Because I know a lot of the residents are having a difficult time reporting it when they suspect violations, because they think their reports are not being heard. So maybe we can figure out a different way and help this process along. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other counselors? All in favor, all opposed?
Aye.
So ordered.
Calendar item number 23, motion presented by Councilor McKenna, that the mayor request MassDOT to install skip lines from the intersection of Thomasella Way and Winthrop Avenue crossing onto Revere Beach Parkway in the interest of public safety. There are 3 lanes at this intersection without any guidance as to which lane motorists should drive in when traversing this location.
Thank you. This kind of speaks for itself, but I'm asking Mayor Keefe to contact the MDOT to put skip lines from Thomasella Drive coming out of Stop and Shop, crossing the intersection on Revere Beach Parkway, heading towards Broadway. There is no guidance for cars to stay in the 3 lanes that are designated. Cars are crossing over and cutting off drivers. This is definitely a safety issue, and eventually, if nothing is done, it will cause a major accident. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. All in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Calendar item number 24, motion presented by Council President Silvestri, that the mayor be requested to allocate $40,000 from an appropriate funding source for the purpose of providing funding for the Home for Little Wanderers 2025-26 contract. Contracted programming at this organization provides mental health support and counseling services to students during and after school hours. This contract aims to serve students who may not have access to a provider or whose parents work long hours into the evening, ensuring they receive vital mental health services to support their well-being and academic success.
Permission to speak from the chair? So this motion speaks for itself. I think we did vote in favor of it last year. Somehow it was either misunderstood on the school side or the city side, but the mayor has promised they will allocate these funds. So all in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Calendar item number 25, motion presented by Council President Silvestri, that the mayor request the chief of police to increase enforcement efforts for dirt bikes, scooters, and unregistered motorbikes in the interest of public safety.
Motion speaks for itself. All in favor? Oh, Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. President. In Ward 1, we have scooters going down the wrong way on a one-way street. 2 people on a scooter. There's when school was in session, we had a mother with a little kid taking her kid to the Beachmont School and riding on the sidewalk. So those should be added to this motion. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, can we amend those to add motorcycles off of sidewalks? In sidewalk enforcement, yes. Thank you. All in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Calendar item number 26, motion presented by Councilor McKenna, that the mayor contact Verizon, National Grid, Comcast, and RCN relative to downed wires in the city. Representatives from these companies are advising residents they are required to call in, wait on hold for an hour or more, and create a ticket to address these issues.
Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've been a counselor for 10 and a half years, and I've never had a problem where I had to call in to put a ticket in to get a wire fixed. I have wires down at Beachmont now for about a month with no company that will take responsibility to clear them out. In the past, I had a representative stand from Verizon that I could call, and he would send someone down to remove them. Since Stan retired, I've been dealing with a new representative, and I'm going to call her out because she's the one who told me to call the 1-800 number. Her name's Stephanie Magnan. For a few months, she was helping me. I was identifying the wires down in Ward 1, and she was addressing them and having them cut. Now, all of a sudden, I email her for with the latest information, and she says it's out of her jurisdiction. Or residents can call the 1-800 number and put a ticket in, or I can call the 1-800 number, which I did, and waited an hour to get them to put a ticket in. This is totally ridiculous. What happened to serving our community? It's gone. I'm looking for the council and Mayor Keefe to come up with the plan and hold these companies accountable. I need ideas. It's National Grid, Verizon, Comcast is good, I have to say. RCN, you call them, they never call you back. I mean, she sent me an email, but she told me to call the 1-800 number. So now the wires are still down. And I mean, so what if a kid goes up and he wants to climb the wire? Or what if the wire is live and the kid touches it? What's going to happen then? So we need to do something as a council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, you know, this is an ongoing issue that we've been dealing with, believe it or not, since RCN came on board. Because what they're doing is they're cutting wires from Comcast at the house and let them fall on the street, or they're wrapping around the telephone pole. I've called this in numerous times, get nothing. And now we talk about us calling in. I got it from Tammy from Espirito from National Grid. Oh, if you want something, you have to call in the repair line. Duh. Hello? We're not supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to be serving us, not telling us to call in for repairs. It's like telling us to call their 311.
I know.
That's a no-go. As far as I'm concerned, they should be coming back to us and talking to us. That's why I'm against that motion that's about putting the engineer in charge of them. Totally against that. I don't want to lose control of it. I want them up here in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other councilors? All in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Calendar item number 28, motion presented by Councilors Jaramillo, Argenzio, Silvestri, Cogliandro, and Guarino Sawaya, that the City Council move to congratulate the Revere Youth Baseball Program, specifically the U10 All-Star Team, players, coaches, and players for the proudly and honorably representing our city in an intermunicipal All-Star Tournament against cities across the Greater Boston region, and further for winning all 5 of the games in the tournament, crowning themselves the champions of the tournament on July 22nd, 25, by beating the Cambridge U10 Baseball All-Star Team to complete their undefeated streak and win the championship for our city. The City Council further moves to invite the Revere Youth Baseball U10 coaching staff and players to the City Council chamber to receive a citation in recognition of their success and the hometown pride they represent by their strength, sportsmanship, determination, hard work, and for bringing the glory home.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilor Jaramillo's absent. And Madam Clerk, if we could add Councilor McKenna and the entire City Council to this. to this motion? Yeah. The entire. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilor Guarino-Swire.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to join in congratulating the U10 Revere All-Star team, the players, coaches Zach Barbo and Al Giorgio and their families for an incredible undefeated tournament run. 5 straight wins, including the final over Cambridge, is something the city should be really proud of. One thing that wasn't mentioned is I want to recognize President Sean Viteri, who had the vision to bring the cities together and create this all-star tournament. His leadership gave these kids a chance to shine beyond our city limits, and they made the most of it by bringing home the championship. And a whole lot of pride to our home of the city of Revere. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other councilors? All in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Calendar item number 29, motion presented by Councilor Haas, that the mayor request the city solicitor, in conjunction with municipal inspections, to investigate the feasibility of creating a fining system and schedule aimed at any utility company that leaves boxes or wires hanging down to the street and sidewalks for longer than 48 hours in the interest of public safety. This citywide issue is also an eyesore.
Thank you. Councilor Haas.
Thank you, Mr. President. This goes kind of hands in hands with Councilor McKenna's motion. I believe we probably got the same amounts of calls, and probably just from over the years what we've seen in this city. Near the Lighthouse nursing home, there was a huge box that was just dangling for what seemed like a good 6 months. On my street, Fenley Street, we've had 2 wires hanging, one still hanging on the top of North Ave / Fenley. It's probably been there for 2 weeks now, all the way down to the sidewalk. I just think our residents, they don't deserve to walk over a wire not knowing what it is. A kid shouldn't have the chance to climb a wire, jump up and touch a box that he has no idea what it is. You have people walking dogs, pushing strollers over them. If they're not going over the wires, they're going into the middle of the street, and then that poses a health risk, a safety risk with the oncoming cars. You know, these utility companies, they make a lot of money off our residents. I just don't see how these things are allowed to stay there for a week, a month, 6 months. You know, maybe the city needs to look into hiring a utility inspector that goes around. He has all contacts with these companies, and he can just go up on a ladder or a truck and cut the wire down. You know, maybe that's something we have to look at, because we're clearly not making any headway with what we have now with these companies. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other councilors? All in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Calendar item number 30, motion presented by Councilor Kelly, that the mayor request Brian Dakin, project manager of Left Field, to appear before the city council at the August 25th, 25 meeting to provide an update on the construction of the new Revere High School.
Councilor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. President. The motion speaks for itself.
Thank you, Councilor. Just a point of personal privilege, I did speak to Mr. Dakin, and he will be here on the 25th. All in favor, all opposed? So ordered. And that concludes tonight's business. We'll see you at our next city council meeting. Have a great night.